Do you ever wonder why your mind clings to negative thoughts and feelings and how you can regain some control? It's estimated that about 75% of our thoughts each day are negative thoughts. And almost every week, I'll meet a new client who says they're feeling stuck, and these negative thoughts are just running on autopilot. So I'm going to explain to you how this happens and give you 3 tips to help you overcome these negative thoughts. I want to start with this quick video, which what I believe is one of the most powerful motivational stories ever on YouTube. It's actually 11 years old now. It shows how powerful your mind can be in helping you to overcome almost anything you set your mind to. This is from the DDP Yoga YouTube page, and it's currently at 108 million views. It's the story of Arthur Borman, who was a disabled vet from the Gulf War, and his doctors had told him he would never be able to walk again on his own. He starts this yoga program and starts with very simple yoga exercises, and you can see he just starts with trying to balance. Then he falls over and over and over again, but he gets back up. Then little by little, he gains strength. He loses 140 pounds in 10 months, and in the end, he's not only walking, but he's running. And 11 years later, currently, he is a yoga teacher. And you're probably gonna start by saying to yourself, well, he's got something I don't have. I could never be like that. And I say to you, why not you? Your brain is already trying to talk you out of change. In order to be somebody like Arthur Borman, we have to understand how the brain operates. So look at it this way. You have to know and study your opponent in order to win a battle or a competition, right? And a lot of times, our own brain is actually the opponent. You see, our brain, more often than not, will default to the path of least resistance. It's like an overprotective parent who doesn't want you to go down the big slide or go play in the dirt. So most of the time, your brain will try to talk you out of anything that's out of your comfort zone. We tend to avoid and resist pain. So just think about it. Anytime you've ever thought of doing something new that's gonna push you, haven't you noticed that your mind will immediately start to try to talk you out of it? You might suddenly start to think, well, I'll just start it tomorrow. It's just not worth it. But it's too cold right now, or it's gonna be too hard. I don't have time. Probably won't be good at that. You have to remember that your brain's job is just to keep you alive, not necessarily help you to thrive or be happy. And your brain just loves it when you stay in your comfort zone. It'll almost immediately try to talk you out of something that feels uncomfortable. But in our modern world, this can mean shying away from necessary challenges. But growth, achievement, and even health, these all reside outside of our comfort zone. So there's a very simple visual here that helps us to understand how we can stretch ourselves to get out of our comfort zone. In the middle here is the comfort zone, and that's where our brain wants us to stay. It's warm and cozy there. Then there's the growth zone and there's the panic zone. And the growth zone is where we start to take small steps in changing. We don't want to start too big or we panic and fail and stay stuck. And today I'm going to give you 3 ways to overcome negative thoughts that hold you back from your goals. Tip number 1, you're going to want to challenge one small feeling or thought at a time. So let's say if you're having problems with getting out of the house to go to the gym or go on a run, then start with just sitting on the floor and stretching. Start with really small changes. If you want to get over your social anxiety, then start with just talking to somebody new at work or at school. Also, if you're so depressed that you can't even get out of bed, then seriously start with just sitting up in bed. Or just get up and brush your teeth and change clothes. Take really small steps. Then give yourself a big cheer for doing something challenging. Tip number 2, I really love Mel Robbins' 5-4-3-2-1 method, where she tells us that as soon as we start to think about whether or not to do something that we know we need to do, we need to disrupt that thought pattern by counting backwards starting at 5. This actually works because we are redirecting our thoughts as we move into action to do the thing we know we need to do. So we have to train our brain to do something different. And once we train our brains over and over and over again, the new action then becomes default mode.
5-second rule. What is the 5-second rule? It's a form of metacognition that gives you immediate control over your thoughts and actions. Using the rule is so simple. The moment you feel your instincts fire up, just start counting backwards to yourself to switch the gears in your mind, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then give yourself a push forward. Counting backwards requires focus. And when you focus, your prefrontal cortex awakens. And by the way, that's the part of the brain that helps you learn new positive behavior patterns.
Tip number 3, use something we therapists call cognitive defusion. So we are so stuck in our thoughts that we don't realize that we don't have to pay attention to them. We don't have to let them hook us. We don't have to give them any power. We have about 20,000 complete thoughts per day, and 95% of those are the same thoughts that we have every day. They're habitual. So thinking a certain way becomes a habit that we can learn to change. Like any other habit, it just takes persistence and time. You can learn to become the observer of your thoughts. For instance, imagine that your goal is to start getting up as soon as your alarm clock goes off. Let's say that the first morning your alarm clock goes off, your brain immediately starts to think, oh, I could sleep 10 more minutes. I could just skip my shower this morning. Or, well, I really am too tired today. Or, now imagine being able to detach from those thoughts and maybe picture them as being on a movie screen with you being the observer in the audience. Or imagine them just being like a swirl of gnats just flying up around your brain. Or imagine these thoughts are like pop-up ads on a computer and you can just close them out. You can even picture your brain being like an overbearing parent and even give it a name to help yourself to detach from those thoughts. Thoughts just happen. They are automatic. We can't control our automatic thoughts, but we get to move towards committed action to achieve the things in life that we know would actually help us. So please leave me a comment if you have any questions about any of this or if you find it helpful. And for more insights into mental health and personal growth, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. So stay strong, stay motivated, be gentle with yourself, and I will see you in the next video.